Chennedy Carter is in Dallas-Fort Worth, leading a lot of people to speculate that she might be going over to the Wings. And Bri Turner is replaced by Aari McDonald for a Fever meet and greet. So things are very speculative and kinda wild. So things are kind of getting a little wild in the WNBA space. First of all, Chennedy Carter does post to her Twitter talking about being in Dallas-Fort Worth, and I kind of think she's just trolling people, but here's how the conversation went. Okay, so here's the post. It says DFW, DFW, which is Dallas-Fort Worth. She has a lot of videos of herself just kind of doing, weird Chennedy Carter stuff. Although I do love myself a sauna like that. She's working out, just some random stuff. And people are asking her, Chennedy, does DFW mean Dallas-Fort Worth? Don't get our hopes up. And Chennedy responds, lol, indeed it does. And then they go, I'm so excited for you, party, party. Dallas, let's go, getting tickets once it's officially announced. I was trying to get the info without asking indirectly, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like people are thinking, oh my God, is she going to the Wings? And then someone else comments, hear me out. And Hollywood, which is Chennedy Carter, says, let me listen. So she's just kind of like going along with this whole idea. She's not saying why she's in Dallas. Now, it's important to note that she is from Dallas, or she's from Fort Worth, actually. So she could just be there, visiting family or being home or whatever. So, okay, let me listen. Can you play for Dallas? No response. And then just like scrolling through the rest, I think she kind of like drops out of the conversation. But so many people are talking about her going to the Wings, and it just so happens that Curt Miller, the GM for the Wings, did talk about how they were not done building into their roster, but I was just thinking about it, and their backcourt is pretty full, and they have been doing really well since Enrique and Dejanay, and now that Nelissa's gone. Like, those were, I think, three elements that just weren't fitting exactly well with the way that, if they want to build around Paige, the way that, they play. It's just so happens that the rookies, have had a great game. They actually just beat the number 2 Mercury. It was Isaiah James, JJ Quinterly, and Paige Beckers. So to me, it kind of sounds like it would be a weird move if they did bring Chennedy Carter over, but she is definitely leaving the door open for this conversation to start. And even if she was signed to the Wings and she did go there to play with the Wings, she wouldn't be able to say anything on social media. That would be probably against some sort of contract that she signed. But Chennedy Carter is a special type of person. I think she is she's nuts. I don't know, maybe. She's just definitely extra. I wouldn't put anything past her. She's just so unpredictable. Now, she is one of the most explosive players, one of the fastest, if not the fastest player in the W. It's just that her unpredictability lends to a lot of, hesitation to sign her on a team. That's why she's not signed to any team this season. But I don't know, the way that Dallas had been playing up until Enrique and Dejanay went out, I would have thought that they might have reached out to her, picked the phone up, made an international call to Mexico because that's where she was playing basketball, and said, you know what, Chennedy Carter, we are willing to take a risk on you because we need something and we need help. I mean, honestly, Connecticut, bring Chennedy Carter over at this point. They are still only with 2 wins, one of which is against the Fever, and their second win was against the Atlanta Dream, which is also kind of a crazy win. But yeah, the Connecticut Sun could they need a Hail Mary. Honestly, at this point, they're probably just tanking because they are going to be moving the team to Boston. Jen Rosati, I think her name is, announced that they're selling the team. I don't think that they could get practice facilities in order, and that is something that is in demand. Every player wants this. Players are working that into CBA negotiations. So yeah, they're just going to be moving the team to Boston. I think maybe next season with the free agency bonanza, they're just going to start from scratch, tank, and get a high draft pick. Moving on to speculation number 2. Is Bri Turner actually going to get cut from the Indiana Fever? And the reason that this is going around is because she was scheduled to appear at, what was it? Chicken Salad Chick? I guess that's a place in Indiana. as a guest with Lexi Hull, and this was announced a while ago, but it's for tomorrow, and they just changed it to Lexi Hull and Aari McDonald instead of Lexi Hull and Bri Turner. And there has been kind of a pattern going on with these, like the Bri Hall, Yvonne Ejim, Michaela Simpson appearance at Seven Brew. I guess it's like a coffee shop, and if you guys remember, it was just Michaela Simpson that showed up. Another one at Chicken Salad Chick was Natasha Howard and Dewana Bonner on May 15th. So I don't know. I mean, I would hope that both Aari and Lexi do show up, but why they changed this is kind of odd. There could be a multitude of reasons. Like, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm not going to speculate, but the fact that it was changed and the fact that the Indiana Fever are definitely in need of a front court person kind of makes everyone's gears just start grinding. And I seem to remember everyone thinking nobody was going to, and that the Indiana Fever was not going to be making any free agency moves. And then towards the very end, they just made a whole bunch when they signed Dewana Bonner, when they signed Natasha Howard, and they brought everyone else over. So they could just be biding their time on this decision, but the 13th is the last day that they can waive a Bri Turner, if that is going to be the case. And it is getting pretty close to that date. So again, conspiracy theory hat on here.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that Bri Turner is already starting to get phased out, especially, I mean, they have Michaela Simpson going in for 10 minutes at a time now in the last few games. Bri Turner only goes in during garbage minutes and or at the very end when they switch out their rosters to the second, third stringers. But honestly, Indiana needs somebody. They need somebody to come in, another big, because even when Dantas returns, like if anybody does go out, it's way too risky. And the Valkyries did end up keeping Letitia Amihir. They aren't playing her right now, so I don't know if they are deciding to possibly like cut her. I think that it might be something that they're thinking of personally, but they did also cut Chloe Bibby, who is also another big that is able to stretch the floor and shoot beyond the arc. I think Letitia Amihir would be great though, because she has this crazy arm. Like, I don't know what her wingspan is, but I've noticed in watching games with her, she gets all the rebounds, she gets all the touches, she is a great rim protector. And, I haven't seen her shoot a lot at the three. I do remember her shooting a spectacular, like, almost game-winning three, but it brought the Valkyries between 1 point of the game, but it felt like a game-winning three. But Letitia Amihir, she is young, she is Canadian. I think this is like her second year in the W. She might be a good option. I don't know what the Indiana Fever has going on behind closed doors. There has to be something going on, because they absolutely do not have enough people on the roster, and they have the cap space. They have cap space to spend. They have a ton of money that they could spend to bring anybody over. So because they have so much money, it might just be that they want to make sure that they make a really good decision. Of course, Emma Meesseman is like, this is the sweepstakes, the lottery for whoever gets Emma Meesseman. Again, she has like a lot, her criteria is very high as to who she will play for. She wants to go to a city that she says she could feel at home in. I don't know if Indiana is that city, coming from Europe, from a European player. I know that Europeans, like, they like to walk around a lot. I live in New York, and the New York Liberty are in dire need of a center. I don't know that Emma Meesseman fits that bill exactly, but if the New York Liberty got her, they would be going to the finals. Or and Nafisa Collier is like blatantly stating how she loves working with Emma, and how Emma has also played with Kayla McBride. So, I mean, everyone's courting her. So Emma Meesseman, again, this is like the Emma Meesseman sweepstakes. This is like a player that is one of the best players in the entire world. She is accoladed, she is decorated. The amount of medals that she has, the amount of trophies that she has, like I remember looking them up a few months ago, and it was like more than I can even remember. And she also just became a champion. Like she was the Eurobasket. She was on Belgium, the team that won the Eurobasket championship. So not to like totally drone on about Emma Meesseman, but again, whoever gets her, I mean I mean it's a done deal, and she wants to go to a championship contending team. So it sounds like it's going to be either the Lynx. It sounds like it could be the Liberty. That could be a place that she wants to be. You know, like walk around in, like feel at home in, kind of thing. But you know, Amber and Kelly just might have an ace up their sleeve, and they might bring her to Indy. Either way, expect a move from the Indiana Fever very soon. Also, I did take a trip to Indiana. I sat courtside for the Sparks game. I would love to talk to you guys about it, but I think I might save that for the next live when we go live for the game, because I don't know if you guys are even interested in hearing about my trip to Indiana and seeing some of my pictures and stuff, because it's just kind of like me. But I did get a picture with Aari McDonald. I sat next to Peggy Cole, so shout out to you, Peggy. The coach of the Los Angeles Sparks was in my view during every play. Like when it would go to the far end of the court, she would stand right where I wasn't able to see the play, and when it came over here closer to us, she would stand right in front of me, and then at that spot too, the referee would stand there. So that was kind of fun. But I gotta say, like sitting that close, like you really do get to, you know, feel very intimate with how the players are feeling without them even really paying attention to you. But you know, I could see any aggravations, like you can hear what they're saying to the refs. But anyway, let me know if you do want me to make a video on that, or if you just want to hop in the live and we can all chat about it then. And I am going to be making a video coming up right after this about Christine Brennan's book, because you guys, tomorrow this book comes out, it launches, and there is like, it is going to be the talk of at least the next week of the WNBA Indiana Fever space. So I'm getting into that in the next video. And until then, I will see you next time.